Okay, so hello guys. So in today's video, we are going to connect with the database. So in the last video, we created the save and get all employee API with the static variable. The data was loading from the static variable. So now in today's video we are going to connect with the database. Okay, so we had this model file, okay, where we had the employee class. Okay, so we are going to use JPA repository to connect with the database. Okay, so let's open the build.gradle file. Currently, we have these three dependencies: Spring Boot Starter Web, DevTools, starter test for the testing. Okay, but now we need to add one more dependency: Spring Boot starter JPA. Okay, so implementations space in single quote org dot spring framework dot boot colon JPA. So Spring Boot starter data JPA. Okay, and we are going to use the latest version. Okay, and we are going to use H2 database. Okay, so um, H2 database H2. Okay, so after you add a new dependencies, you want to sync the Gradle project. So you will see this notification, the build file has modified. Do you want to synchronize the Java class one? Okay, if you don't see this option, okay, and you want to sync, you can use the command. Okay, so open the terminal. Okay, command prompt in your root folder where you have this gradle w file. Okay, so you can use gradle w space build space uh, hyphen hyphen refresh dependencies. So it will download the all the latest dependencies after we modify the file. Okay, but you have to run this command in the root folder of your project. So now the build is successful, the dependencies are downloaded. Okay, so now the next step is open the model file, okay, employee class that we have created, and annotate it with @direct entity. So we have to annotate with the entity annotation. Okay, after that we have to use a table. Okay, and inside table we can pass the table name, that is employee. Okay, and the ID will be the primary key. Okay, and generated value, generated, sorry, generation type dot auto. Okay, now for the name, at the column column name, the name of the column in the database, and for the id also column name in double quote. So I'm using control space to get suggestions. Okay, so after that we have to add a repository. Okay, so like we added controller model, we have to add a repository. So create a new folder, repository. Okay, so inside the repository, create a new file, employee, employee Java, and here you have to select interface employee repository. Okay, and annotate this interface with repository. Okay, now we have to extend the interface with JPA repository. Okay, and here we have to pass the model class, that is employee, comma, the type of primary key. Okay, so our primary key is of type int. Okay, so that's why we have passed integer. So in this repository we can write the queries. Okay, so by default it provides the queries like to save, find all. Okay, so we are going to use that. Okay, so let's add one more file, that is service. Okay, so for that we are going to create a folder. Inside that we are going to keep the all the services. Okay, and annotate this service with the service. Okay, uh, and in this service, so basically what is the use of service class? Basically it's going to communicate with the database. Okay, so we are going to write all the business logic related to the database queries, if you want to perform some business logic. Okay, so that is separate from the controller. Okay, so in the controller we are just going to add the routes. Okay, but in the service we are going to write the business logic, okay, which access the repository. Okay, and the repository access the uh, table. Okay, so inside the repository let's create our first method that returns the list of employees from uh, the table. Okay, so here uh, let's create a method find all. Okay, and here it will so basically we have to get an object of repository. Okay, so I will just create an object of repository. How we are going to do that is by using auto wire annotation. Auto wire, so basically what will happen when the Spring Boot application runs, it will automatically create the object of this repository, and it will provide that object here. Okay, so that's why we will be able to access the methods of this repository. Okay, so it will not give null error like the this object is empty. Okay, so we have to import the employee model. Okay, so we have to import employee class, but I'm not getting suggestions, so let's write the import. import from com dot example model. Here we have to select employee. Okay, and import the list from Java utils. Okay, so we have added find all method. Now let's add save method, which will save the employee in table. Okay, so we are using SQL database. Okay, so here we are going to use save method, and um, for the save method we need to pass the object of employee. Okay, so we'll receive that object here. So okay, so now we have added repository and model. Inside model we made these changes. In service we added the find all and save method. Now in the controller, let's make the changes. So I'll remove this line, and here we have to take an object of service in a controller. So here employee service, service. Don't forget to annotate with auto wired. Okay. Okay, so post. So in the post, we'll receive a employee object. Okay, so now we have to use employee service dot. Okay, so inside employee service, we have this save method. Okay, okay, so we have to make this methods public, so it will be accessed outside the class. So here we have to call employee dot save, and here we have to pass the object of employee, and this method returns a type, employee type object, so we can directly return. Okay, now the all API. Okay, so here we have to write return employee service dot find all. So the find all method will return the list of employees. Okay, so this is added. Now let's run our application. So go to main file and click on run button. So application is getting started. Okay. Okay, so I'm running my application on port 8080. Okay, so let's check again. So open the Thunder client, and let's make the get all request now. 8080 employee slash all. Okay, so we got an empty array. Okay, now let's make the post request. So on the port 8080 mp1 save. Okay, so now the employee is saved in the database. We got 200. Okay, now let's check in get all API. Okay, so we are getting the API. Okay, and we have used the S2 database. Okay, so in a browser we have to open uh, how can we view the h2 database is on slash h2 colon console. Sorry, the application running on 8080. Okay, so here you have to type h2 colon console. Okay, so it will automatically load this window. Okay, and here you can click on test connection, and you can type admin and test connection. uh, I'll remove the. Okay, okay, so I forgot to add some properties here in application properties. Okay, so we have to add the data source URL. You can type spring dot data source. So here you have to type spring dot data source dot URL is equal to JDBC H2. So we are using in-memory database, so that's why we have to type mem and the database name. Let's say I'm using testdb. So if you want to change the port number, okay, so you can use server dot port is equal to 3000. Okay, so after that we have to mention the driver class name spring data source dot driver class name. So it will be org dot h2 dot driver. So now we have to mention the username and password. Database sorry, data source dot username equal to, let's give admin, and spring dot data source dot password admin. Okay, okay, so now let's connect. Let's restart the application. So I have changed the port number, so now application will start on the port number 3000. Okay, and the h2 console is available at slash h2 colon console. Okay, so, and application is running on 3000. Okay, so let's add let's check the get all employees API again. Okay, uh, send. Okay, so port number is changed to 3000. So currently no records because we have restarted the application. Okay, so let's add employee. Okay, so employee is added. Now let's check get all. So we got the employee. Okay, so now uh, we open localhost 3000 slash h2 colon console. Okay, okay, so it will open this page. Okay, so you have to mention the driver class, so that we have uh, org.h2.driver. Okay, and JDBC URL. So this is the URL. Okay, username, password, admin. Okay, so now let's test the connection. Connection is successful. Let's connect. Okay, so you see the table employee. Okay, so click on this. It will automatically show you this SQL query. So just click on run. So we see in the database that only one record is present. Okay, so let's add one more employee. Okay, so let's change the ID to and employee 2. So after clicking on the send, let's go back to the browser and run this query again. So now the two records. Okay, so you can fetch that through the get all API also. Okay, so that was all about this video. So in this video we updated the model class with uh, JPA like annotations for ID entity table. We added the repository interface annotated with repository. Then we added the service annotated with service, and we return two methods, find all and save. Okay, and in the controller we used those uh, methods of that services. Okay, and in application properties we provided the JDBC URL and driver class name and data source username and password. Okay, so as we seen in the last video, we have also added that front end page of HTML in the static folder, so we can load it directly from the root path. Okay, so if I click on get all employee, it has to fetch all the employees, but it's not working now. Okay, so let's check the error. Open developer tools, go to network, just select the first request and check what is the error. Okay, no data found. Okay, in headers you can check the URL 8080, but we have changed the port number to 3000. Okay, in application properties, and we have restarted the application. So we have to make that same change in our HTML file. So in HTML file, change the port number to 3000. Okay, now let's reload the application. Let's clear the network, reload the application. Okay, now I click on the get all employees. So we got this list of employees from the in-memory database. Okay, so if I add one more employee and get all. Okay, so every time we click on get all, it's calling that all API and getting the recent uh, database values. Okay, so that's all in this video. So in the next video we are going to connect with the online database MySQL, so you can share the same database credential, like same database URL with your other team members, so you can connect, you can work on the same project. Okay, so you will not have uh, separate databases. Okay, thank you for watching. Please do like and subscribe.